Thunder, big matchup, obviously. I know you guys are trying to ramp into sort of playoff mode, but now having this game against a team that's kind of handed it to you twice, how do you balance wanting to get back at them, but also sort of maintaining that pace and staying in the right habits and not getting too ahead of yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I think the main thing is continuing to try to get better and focus on the things that we know we need to improve. I thought there were some really good signs last night. We did some great things, but we didn't sustain it for 48. So that's the main focus, is ourselves. But you go into a game knowing that a team has beat you twice handily. You have to take that into account and plan accordingly. And I think our guys will be ready to go. I think 2 games against them, we really weren't very competitive.
How much easier does it make your job when you have a guy like Zaza, who you know no matter what decision you make with the rotation, he's going to take it in stride and be a professional?
Zaza is, he's part of our moral compass on this team. He really is. He's the ultimate pro. No matter what role you give him, you know he's going to work, you know he's going to support his teammates, you know he's part of trying to win. And so we're lucky to have him, and I'm lucky to coach him. This is not easy for anybody to go through, something like this where you get taken out of the lineup, but it's all part of being on a winning team, and you just keep going, you keep working, and your chance always comes back around.
When you make a change like that, you obviously let JaVale know ahead of time. Do you let Zaza know?
Yeah.
How did JaVale change the dynamic early in the game yesterday, and how important will it be for you moving forward?
Well, I mean, JaVale, what he brings is that energy and the ability to run. He's probably the fastest big guy in the league. I don't know if anybody could line up, underneath the basket, and any big in the league I don't think any of them could beat him in a race down the floor. And so you get energy, you get the ability to catch a lob. We caught one early. There's a floor spacing element, kind of if you get that vertical threat, which adds to your spacing. But really, it's the biggest thing to our starts is our defensive intensity from the group. And as long as we're connected and playing hard defensively, I'm not sure it matters who's our starting center. And what matters is are we playing to our standards, and that's up to the whole group. We have a lot of centers, and they all do something really well. They're all very different from one another, but we have to defend at a high level as a team in order for any of this stuff to matter.
Is it possible Jordan Bell is available?
Doubtful. Yeah, I mean he's getting better and he's close, but my feeling is I'll probably wait until the trip.
Coach, before you became the coach of the Warriors, did you see something special with Steph? You became the coach. Did you see anything you didn't know was in him, but you saw?
I watched Steph in college, and you could tell he had something special about him. Not just his skill, but the magnetic way he played, the way his teammates responded to him. And I think what I noticed in the previous 2 seasons, from when I got here, I thought he became a star. I thought Mark Jackson did a great job sort of convincing Steph, you're a star, you're one of the best point guards in the league, and here's the ball, go do your thing, go make some mistakes, and push through that wall. And so by the time I got here, he was already a star. And I think the natural progression from his rookie year to that point a few years ago was really a healthy one. Even though he had gone through some injuries, I think he was just gradually getting better and more confident, and I thought the organization put him in a really good position to succeed.
Steve, when you look at marquee regular season matchups like the Thunder, what things actually have big picture implications? What things don't really at all?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Just in terms of when you're just looking down the line of playoffs and what it means, what things actually mean of any significance and what doesn't.
I mean, they're one of the best teams in the West for sure. They're very talented. They're big. They're very good defensively. And so anytime you play a team that you could face later on, you learn some things and you take note and you have the film and you go from there. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. I hope we're a little more in tune, a little more focused, locked in.
Stephen, in many instances, and maybe most, the regular season matchups between teams don't seem to have any bearing on what those teams might do if they see each other in the playoffs. Why is that?
I think regular season and playoffs are so different because of the amount of preparation. Sometimes the matchups are totally different based on injuries. So it's sometimes when you run into a team in April or May, it doesn't look anything like what it looked like in November or December. And so, yeah, I mean, I remember many times in my playing career where that exact scenario happened, where you see a team and you're like, oh yeah, we dominated these guys, and they're like, oh wait, maybe not, different group, or vice versa. And so it's just such a long season, and so many things happen and so many things change.
Steve, do you like what you saw out of the Warriors in the first 5 minutes?
Did I like what I saw with what?
Out of the Warriors in the first 5 minutes last night?
Oh yeah. Our start was great. To end the first quarter with we have a 10-point lead, 9-point lead, 11. It's the first time we've really played with a lead in a long time, and I thought our energy and our focus was great. We started the game out with 8 assists and no turnovers in the first 5 minutes, and that helps your defense when you're not turning it over. The game got away from us a little bit in the second quarter when we started turning it over again, so we had some lapses. We've got to be able to keep the pressure on, but still maintain our discipline and our ball control.
Correct me if I'm wrong here. It seems as if teams are getting to the rim more often against you guys this year, and obviously there's a defensive intensity aspect to that. But going up against Russ, who obviously can do that as well as anybody, what kind of challenge does that pose to you guys tomorrow? And what are some of the things that can be tinkered with, small things that can help stem that tide of it?
Well, I think the biggest thing with Westbrook is you can't guard him with one guy. I mean, you have to guard him with multiple guys, meaning you build a wall behind the play. And the first 2 games, we were fast asleep behind the play. And he's too fast and too explosive to expect to just handle one-on-one in the open floor. So we've got to do a better job of walling up and containing penetration as a group and then getting back out to shoot.
That all comes down to focus, just
focus and some scheme too. We can do some things better, but we've got a couple of tapes to look at and lots of mistakes that we've made. So we'll continue to tinker.
Looking at tape, going off of Monty's question, how much do you guys hold back in the regular season so that you don't see those plays when you look at the regular season tape? If you know that you might see these guys in the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, in the playoffs, you just naturally have so much more time to prepare that you spend literally days and days concocting schemes, and a regular season is so different. So you don't think of as many things, frankly, and so it's not so much that we're sitting here like, all right, we got these 5 things that we're going to do. Yeah. We don't want to show them. It's more that the preparation comes later on in a much more detailed manner.
In the playoffs, have you ever felt like you've overthought something?
Yeah. We overthought our defense against Oklahoma City in the 7-game series 2 years ago. We started out that series creating some cross matches. I think we put Draymond on Robertson maybe, and then by the time we were down 2-1, we went back to our more traditional matchups, and we probably should have started that way. But
it was a lot more interesting that way.
It was way more interesting for you guys, which is always our main concern.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Paul George has been talked about for Defensive Player of the Year. What makes him so effective?
He's a perfect modern-day defender. Got the length and the speed to handle perimeter players. He's got the strength to guard on the post. He can pretty much guard 1 through 4, and the way the league is going, he can even guard some 5s. So modern day versatile defender.
He gets a lot of steals. You guys had some issues with turnovers going into the break. How do you prepare for that?
Show the tape, remind the guys of how active they are. and we got to play with some fortune. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Steve.